Hello guys, earlier today I made some homemade fruit scones, okay? And you can see some of them here, okay? I apologise in advance that the sound quality and what you're about to hear when I recorded on the iPod Touch is absolutely horrible. It's too quiet, I know it. Unfortunately, it is the way it is. I didn't realise until after I'd recorded it. Because of the nature of it, I can't simply record it again because I'd have to make the food again. So I'm afraid you're going to have to put up with it, I'm afraid. I could have kept the original pictures and dubbed over it, but I decided against it. So a lot of the time you'll be able to easily see what I'm doing. I apologise, you can hear what I'm saying if you have the volume up full and you listen through headphones. I'm sorry, but it's pretty much the way it is. It's been a day where it's generally been a disaster, but it's become a successful disaster because they are actually edible. Even though I honestly haven't got a clue how people use a food cutter to actually cut these things because they're so sticky. Maybe there's some secret to it that I don't know. But anyway, carry on watching guys, and I apologise for the sound. This is a quick update, okay? I've had a look, and yes, according to Wikipedia and various other sources, scones are genuinely British, and they originate apparently from Scotland, okay? And some believe that they go back as far as about 1500 or something like that, okay? I've not looked into this historically, but I know this is the sort of food that's eaten in Britain, okay? So if anybody's watching that wants to see me make real British food, this is me making real British food, although I'm English and it's Scottish, but Scotland is part of Britain, so it's genuine British food, but it isn't apparently English, but it is British, okay? So carry on watching, guys. I start by mixing the egg and milk together. Hello there, and today I'm going to cook, or rather bake, some fruit scones from a recipe book by Mary Berry called Pastry, okay? Even technically scones are a cake, okay? Now, in the recipe, there are special scones, and there's a fruit variant, okay? So I'm going to use the fruit variant, okay? Now, I'm not doing this in your dish, instead put something in yours which I think would be easy to fill, okay? So first, I have some eggs. They actually expire today. Should be good enough. I'm now going to whenever I want to film things, it always go badly wrong. And when I do it on my own, obviously I kept it too low down. I should have hit it in the middle, but I did it probably too slowly and I didn't put up. Right, it doesn't matter, there's no broken bits in there, so what's annoying is I can do it all the time really when I'm not filming. Now, I have here some milk. And I'm meant to let this go up to the quarter pint mark, so I have the quarter pint mark. I'm going to have to put in myself. up to quarter pint mark. I just very carefully. I think it's about quarter pint mark. And now right, that's the packet milk mixture dealt with. Now I'm going to deal with the flour, baking powder, margarine and caster sugar, okay? I'm now going to weigh the caster sugar. Right, I have here some caster sugar, and I'm supposed to put 25 grams in, so I'm going to put 25 grams of caster sugar, and hopefully this won't be a pain. That'll do, 27, that'll do. Some of this is a bit solid, so I'll just some of it clumped together in the paper bag, okay? Right, that's that. It's 27 grams, I'm not bothered about an extra 2 grams. So that's the caster sugar ready. Just doing this to switch it off. Okay, it's off. I now add the baking powder and self-raising flour to a bowl. This in itself was a mini disaster because after doing so I was paranoid and didn't think the scales, which occasionally reset themselves and occasionally don't provide the correct weight, I thought they'd gone wrong. And so I put it all back into the bag and then put it back in again and realised that it was probably all okay anyway. But never mind. You know, if anything's going to go wrong, it will go wrong when you're filming it, okay? And unlike normal manual scales, which I trust, with the electronic ones, the trouble is sometimes they're clever enough to reset themselves, so that the idea is when you switch it on, it's meant to set it to 0. If you put a plate on or other things on, it's meant to set to 0, but sometimes it has self-reset for no reason, and so sometimes things don't weigh as much or as little as you think they're going to do, and you find out the hard way afterwards when you take something out, put the empty plate back on, and suddenly you found that you had more or less than you should have done because the plate doesn't say it was 0 when you have just a plate on. You might think, well, you wouldn't expect it to because it's got a plate on, but it's specially designed so that when you switch it on with a plate on, it sets to 0, so that whatever you put on top of the plate or bowl will then be weighed. Anyway, watch and you'll see. Okay guys, now I'm going to put in a level teaspoon of baking powder, okay? This is baking powder. Sainsbury's is one of the supermarkets here. Now I've got taking the lid off. Meant to put in a level teaspoon, so it's going to bowl anyway, so it doesn't matter. That'll do. That's the baking powder. Now I'm going to put
using some McDougal's. McDougal's is one of the top brands here. I'm not saying it's like millionaires or something, but it's a good brand. They happen to have it cheap at one of the stops I go to, so I got something. I can open it on the back. It says best before end of October. Well, I'm not really bothered about that, to be honest. So it's technically out of date, but it's back as far as I'm forever, to be brutally honest with you. So, you know, when that's out, you know, like 20 days to make much of a difference or something. So anyway, I'm going to put 225 grams. Yeah, okay. Like I said, I had this south-facing cloud by for quite some time, but I never actually got around to using it because I had another one. There wasn't enough left in the bag, so I bought a start to a new bag. What has it just done? Okay. Okay, I can never, because it's changed up and down, I dare take this back I know the baking powder to the top. I wouldn't normally have thought you'd put this much in. It seems a ridiculous amount. I know the baking powder will be in here somewhere, so it doesn't matter. Wow, 225, absolutely exactly. And although I'm not supposed to do it, just in case, wave my hand again, it's not how you should do it, but I just don't trust these scales because the trouble is sometimes they reset themselves for no reason. He's got too much baking powder and like that. Right. I can do things perfectly when I'm not filming it. That's what's so annoying because I can just, you know, have my own way of doing it, but you know, it takes time when I'm filming and talking. Okay, so now 50 grams of margarine now. So I said I've got some margarine here called, I can't believe it's not butter. Okay. No. Just going to switch this bowl up and on again. looks like I've got problems with the scale.
I now weigh the margarine and add it to the flour, and then I rub the margarine into the flour using my fingers.
It does work, and then you can do it rather quickly, okay? I'll talk later. Right, that's 62. I know it's meant to be 50, but I'm not going to. I'll leave it 60. Yeah, 10 can make that much of a difference. Right, now I find it's very hard to believe the actual amounts, but never mind. I've got to check that is absolutely correct. I think it's weird to me. Yep, 50 grams, 25, 25, yep, okay, fine. Now what I have to do, I'm then back on the margarine, got the now is where I rub the flour in, and then I add the caster sugar that I did earlier, okay? Use your hands, and rub it like this. I honestly believe there doesn't look like there's any here butter for this, but I could be wrong. But normally I've not normally made scones like this with egg, to be completely honest, so. Lift it up and then with my fingers. Just like breadcrumbs, maybe it is, I don't forget. Normally I'm used to lots more butters, but I'm also right. I think it's about there, so all the caster sugar in. All the caster sugar's gone in. Look, there's all the caster sugar. I did it into a bowl earlier, so a small bowl now. So worry about, you know, running it. I think that's about it. You just normally lift it like that and then rub it between your fingers, okay? I think that's okay now. So it does look really flat. Right. I was a bit worried that it would be the foot, but there it is. Probably. Haven't played Scones for a while, to be honest, but there it is. Don't get overused. Anyway. So there you go, that's the scone mixture. Right, now I'm going to put in some mixed fruit. Wash my hands. No reason.
I now add the mixed fruit from a bag, which generally consists mostly of currants, sultanas and raisins, okay? With other things as well, okay? And that's often used in fruit loaves and things like that, okay? And also then I add the egg mixture, which consisted of the egg and milk, which I whisked together earlier in this video, okay?
Okay, right. Now, I'm going to add some mixed fruit in the bag. I do give them out. She recommends 50 to 75 grams. Truthfully too lazy to actually bother weighing it, so I'm going to just completely honest with you, so I'm just going that looks like quite a lot, so hopefully that will be enough. And then so also scone egg mixture, so I've got the egg mixture here. I've already whisked it, but I'm just going to whisk it again. I have here a wooden spoon. Stir it. later on that will take longer. I'm going to instead use a chalkboard and do my various stuff.
I'm now going to cut out some greaseproof paper and then grease it with some of the margarine. Yes, I know it's ironic, but there you go. Greasing greaseproof paper, but there you go. And that goes into the baking tray, and that's in preparation for when later the scones go on to the greaseproof paper in the baking tray. Okay?
Now I'm going to deal with the dough layer, but in the meantime I've got some greaseproof paper here. Take it out. I shouldn't theoretically have to use non-stick. I've got baking potatoes and other stuff on it, so cut it, cut out some paper. Some margarine and I put a dot of margarine on it, so that's some one, and now I'm going to grease it. Give this all over the greaseproof paper. Covers it completely. Greaseproof paper grease. Well, now that's theoretically ready now. I just wanted that in preparation. Okay.
I now attempt to roll it out, the mixture, that's the mixture, cut the scones out using a cutter, and put them onto the greaseproof paper. In my opinion, this was an absolute total disaster, because I think the mixture was far too sticky for it to be able to be cut and rolled. Maybe it's just a lack of ability on my behalf, but at that point I tried to follow the recipe to the letter pretty much, and I was baffled as to why it should be the case. Also, I also was meant to knead it in some way, so that meant, you know, turning it over and pushing it down with my hands and things like that, okay? So you can see me doing this, okay? As I said, to me this looked like a total disaster, but there you go.
Right, now I'm meant to try and roll it out and put it because I need to lightly dust this with sulphate with flour, I'm going to use sulphate flour again, but this time I'm using a different one. It's the same type of thing, it's just got less in it, you see. And because I'm dusting this, I'm actually putting a lot in. It doesn't matter, so I'm just going to turn that out. Over it. And now I'm meant to knead the dough. So I'm going to top your duster. Put all of it in here. And I might do 2 sets at a time, so I may do about half and half, okay? So I'll do one. Fold my flour, knead it like this. Then it's supposed to roll this out with bobbing very, very fast. To be completely honest, I'm not even sure the rolling pin's necessary. I've got the rolling pin ready, but I don't think it's even going to be that necessary. Let's just have them properly. Now what I'm going to do is I have here a cutter. I'm going to cut out. It's not the way to do it, but far too stiff in my opinion. I think it probably is a lot of flour, so if they ignore that. Actually cobbled, I wouldn't have thought there wasn't enough flour in there, but so making the flour. Otherwise I'm just going to do this my way, not the way it's supposed to do it, but the way I think I might have to do it. Made scones for a very long time, truthfully. Probably about 10 years at least. ingredients she said, but my mum's not bought some of her recipe books and then was later disappointed when she tried the recipe. Didn't work out as well as she thought. So I think I understand what she means. I've never used a particular recipe before. There's got to be some trick that I'm missing here. Like maybe I'm supposed to do something, I don't know. I'm going to go off camera and see what I've done wrong, and I'm going to do the rest, probably off camera, unless I can find out what it is I've done wrong. Okay. I don't know how the experts do it. Not with this recipe, I assume. I'm going to investigate this off camera, okay?
I now brush some milk on the top of the scones with a pastry brush.
Right, now it still looks like a disaster to be totally frank with, but never mind. I've got some milk here. Even though I think it's wet enough, it shouldn't need it. Put some milk in there. Now, the scone here, it's absolutely horrible. I'm fully aware of it. Far better if you buy them. What can you do? I couldn't make it any better if it's awful. I'm just going to put that in. The idea is to paint milk over it. I'm not sure quite right. I think it's wet enough that it shouldn't even need it when I'm just doing the process. Like what? The book says written by Mary Berry, okay? In the meantime, I've switched everyone and started to heat it because it can take a long time to heat up. I can also show the lid switch. Right, okay. Apart from the milk everywhere, fine. That's it. As I said, I know it looks an absolute disaster. The presentation, I know. Hopefully it will taste okay. I know from a presentation perspective it's a disaster. I know like sort of getting my kitchen nightmare the whole way. Anyway, obviously I wouldn't win the bake off with this. It's disappointing, but Never mind. Right.
I bake them, then put them onto a wire rack. This is self-explanatory really, so you know there's no talking with this. And now I'm going to eat a scone that I've made, wanted to cool down. Okay, and now I'm back to the computer recording it all. It's rather weird actually because I've tested the wire, this extension wire out. There's a wire here, which when I plug this little extension wire into the iPod Touch, it doesn't provide record the sound properly. But when I plug it in via the PC, it works perfectly. Absolutely weird, as it's only meant to be an extension lead. Anyway, in here I have a roses tin, but it's not got the roses in. Inside it's got a plate. Ta-da! These are the scones that I made earlier after I took them off the wire rack. Okay? So, as I said, I'm sorry about all the sound problems and things like that, but unfortunately one of the problems with an iPod Touch is when you're recording, you do not see any recording level meters, unlike you do on a PC, when I do, like now. So this is why I'm using it now, so I can tell at least it's recording, okay? Now, I'm going to pick one, and I'm going to eat it, okay? Now normally, when we bought scones, we normally cut them open in half and put some butter on. Sometimes with other scones, which aren't like this, aren't fruit ones, you put jam or clotted cream in the middle, but I'm just eating it as it is, okay? Now, the covering bottom is a bit hard, I'll be honest. Maybe it could have done with being in the oven a bit less, but I wasn't sure and I didn't want it to be completely soggy. Particularly after all the other problems I had earlier. There you go. And a fruit scone like this is traditional British food now. It's the sort of thing that is eaten traditionally a lot in Britain. I'm not sure it's still eaten as much as it used to be. You can buy these pre-made in many supermarkets. This is obviously a homemade one. I think the problem is the bottom is a bit hard compared to what I'm used to, but other than that, it's perfectly okay. It is basically a savoury snack. As you can see, it's got all the different pieces of fruit in, currants, sultanas, and apart from the fact it's soggy, and it's absolutely horrible to try and cut the thing. If I hadn't tried to use a cutter and I'd have just put them on with balls, which I probably should have done. Well, rather than trying to do it her way, if instead I'd have just grabbed them and like put balls on, and convert them into balls and perhaps put more flour when I'm kneading it, it may be okay. But if you don't care what it looks like, you're not bothered about the presentation, you don't want to make it look exactly like you get in, you know, the shops, then it's perfectly okay. You can go. I apologise for the sound problems, but it's really, really weird because, as I said, this small extension lead this out there, this bit, works perfectly on the PC. And it's got the same types of plugs and sockets on, so I've no idea what caused the problems on the iPod Touch, because what happens is if it doesn't detect it on the iPod Touch, then rather than recording via this headset, it records via its own internal microphone. And the internal microphone is pretty much gone on the iPod Touch now. I don't know why, but there you go. I did buy the thing second hand. Perhaps that was why. Maybe the person who sold it second hand knew it was a bit temperamental and thought they'd sell it before it broke down totally, but never mind. You can, if you have the volume up absolutely full, probably, because I'm going to edit it soon. Hear me talking, but at least you can see me cooking at least, so you can at least see me making some British food and something that's quite popular now. I believe this is a British version of it. I know that something like this, according to historians, has existed in Britain for probably hundreds of years, so for any of you foreigners that are more used to really exotic stuff, this is the kind of thing that we have in Britain for tea. Okay, now I've often heard when people talk about tea, regarding food, at tea time, people talk about eating crumpets and tea. Well, often they have scones and tea as well, so sometimes you eat scones like this as a snack in the afternoon with tea, okay? Cups of tea, okay? And that will be known as tea. Now, like I said, you can do a version of this which doesn't have protein, and which you put in the middle, you cut it in half, and then you put jam or cottage cream in. But I've just had done the version with mix of fruit, okay? So, there you go, guys. Homemade fruit scones. Okay? Thanks for watching. Apologies for the sound, but at least you could see what I was doing. Bye!